I need you to try the chat as well. You don't need a channel. You need, no, I think you need a browser with an account. Okay, why is this not showing up here? Is it showing up? Do you see it? So do you see my game? Do you? Can you hear my voice? Okay, I'm going to turn off, or at least take off my headset, and you're going to tell me if you can hear my voice through the game, through YouTube, okay? And I need you to type it in chat. All right, so welcome to my No Man's Sky stream. Can you all hear me? Say something in chat if you can. So No Man's Sky, as you can see from the first page here, it's multiplayer. Awesome. And this is going to be a new game. Permadeath. Permadeath. All right, so just trying to iron out the technical details here. Sound, more specifically. I was doing a test yesterday and I could hardly hear my voice on the playback, so so I got to make sure that that stuff is okay. Fortunately, I have a little helper that's going to hopefully guide me through some of this. All right. Let's go. Permadeath. So the premise of the game here is that you're left stranded on a planet. The planet is likely has a hostile environment in terms of its weather and things like that. There's 4 types of planets. And let's see. And you can either be on an ice cold planet, a burning hot planet, a toxic planet, or an irradiated planet. So like pretty much everything in this particular game, it's random. So we'll initialize and see where we end up. How's the sound now? Right? So it looks like I'm on either a hot planet, toxic, or irradiated. I think it's irradiated. Yeah, 6.9 rad, 18.7 tox. Maybe it's toxic. Regardless, you're outfitted with a uniform that basically helps you counteract the environmental environmental things, hazards. So basically, at this point in the game, I like to set up my first-person player, because I'm on an irradiated planet. So first thing I want to do is find a cave. There's one. Awesome. Awesome. That's the best thing you could find right off the bat, is a cave. So basically, inside a cave, you don't need hazard protection. As you can see, the little bar, there's two little bars on the bottom left. The top one is the hazard protection. When you go into a cave, it basically resets. Okay, so let's see. This is my inventory slots. Basically, you have 3 outfits when you start. You have your exosuit, which is basically your life support and your hazard protection. I like to move my technology over to the technology slots, because that's the only thing you can put there for starters. And secondly, you have a limit. You're limited to a certain number of slots to begin with, and you can build these up as the game goes on. But you have to find certain game artifacts that will allow you to do that. And then the cargo in Permadeath, you can carry your stacks here. Each of these stacks can carry twice as much stuff, basically, as your general slots. And in this particular playthrough, now, when you get stranded on a planet, you're outfitted with a ship. Basically, you have to find your ship and fix it. So, in this particular playthrough, I'm going to not use that starter ship. And that's the premise of this playthrough. So I'm going to go in the opposite direction of my ship. I'm going to see if I can either find a crashed ship, another crashed ship, or depending on time, if I can find a location that I can buy a ship, I will probably do that. It depends on time and what kind of effort I'm willing to put into finding a crashed ship. And as you can see, the ship also has inventory slots that you can use. And finally, your multi-tool is your tool/weapon. You can use it to scan plants, animals, and minerals, and you can also use it to mine said game elements for their resources. The initial multi-tool is very weak and small, like in terms of the number of slots that it provides, and it's broken. So basically, as I hover over the scanner element here, the scanner technology, you can see that I need 75 ferrite dust to fix this multi-tool. So that's my first order of business. And if I'm not mistaken, oh, maybe I am mistaken. So a lot of game elements will have various minerals and things like that. These stalagmites and stalactites in caves have cobalt, which is extremely useful. For making hazard protection. So I'm wondering if my sound is okay. It sounds really loud to me. The game sounds really loud, so I don't know what it's coming across like on the stream. Some things are louder than others, obviously. So I'm looking for basically rocks. Now, pure ferrite. As I hover over this particular item here, it says it's made of pure ferrite and probably something else. But in the red bar it says advanced mine laser required, and I don't have that equipped on my multi-tool, so I have to forego looking at that stuff. Thank you, Scott. Welcome to the stream. Just curious to know if you've dove into this particular title or not. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I've only been trying this for about 6 months, off and on, and it's a bit of a chore. I started using a gamepad, a Logitech Gamepad, about a week ago, and it's been a bit of a challenge getting used to that. And again, I'm just curious to know if my voice and the game sound are coming through okay. You know, the noob stuff that you kind of worry about when you first get on this kind of thing. So first of all, I should say that this is purely a hobby for me. Having said that, I got a message last night that you subscribed. Scott, thank you. I don't know if I'll never need that, but thank you anyway. 158 hours logged, eh? That's cool. So, how many playthroughs do you figure you've got under your belt? Fair bit of background noise from the mic. I wonder, do I have my mic set up properly here? I'm using a Blue Yeti, and I think it's right in front of my face, really. So I'm not sure what other noise it's picking up. It might be picking up the hiss of the fans off my laptop. This laptop, in terms of performance, it's not bad, but the fan is really loud on it. Dang, I'm gonna need a lot more of that stuff. Yeah, so it's really loud. So basically, I'm wondering what the fix is for that, if there is a fix. Gotta keep looking back here to see if I got enough material to fix this. That's the first order of business here in the game, is to fix your tool. Unidentified mirror, ferrite dust. So until you fix your scanner, you can't really scan anything. Scanning rocks, scanning rocks, plants, and oh, that's not good. So basically, what I should have done here was scan something with carbon in it, and I failed to do that. So I'm going to have to grind it out with using need to use, what is it I need to use? Wow, no plants here? I'm gonna have to scamper back into that cave. Oh, here we go. Gonna have to melee damage these things in order to fix the scanner, or at least to recharge it, and then I can consider fixing it. How's my radiation protection? Not very good. Alright, so now I should have enough carbon to fix at least partially, and hopefully I can scan enough of this stuff to fix the tool. Alright, I'm going to get back into the cave. So I don't die in the first 5 minutes. Alright, it's recharging good. Whew. The first 5, maybe 10 minutes of the game are the most critical, where you have to acquire enough resources to, 1, fix your scanner. Secondly, you want to acquire enough resources to make these things. Ion batteries allow you to recharge your hazard protection. So I'm going to make as many of these as I can right now, and we'll move these things down here. That's the critical elements for that. So sometimes when you mine the cobalt, it gives you these things, which is basically takes another step to get it where you need it. Having said that, I'm good to go for hazard protection, but my life support is going to be a concern at some point. And for hazard support, I can use for life support, sorry, I can use oxygen or life support gel or dioxide. Life support gel, I need those little blue crystals called dihydrogen to make life support gel, to make dihydrogen jelly, which is used to make life support gel. Or I can mine things that contain oxygen to replenish the life support system. So these little creatures up here, I'm just going to look at that here. Oh, no visor installed. Okay, so I need a carbon nanotube to install that over here. Let's see. So this is the visor. And I don't even have any carbon. I didn't get enough from those plants. I just got enough to charge my tool a little tiny bit. It's going to be difficult. I was running a test of this yesterday, and it was kind of difficult to sit here and talk my way through this and kind of focus on the matter at hand, the business of getting all the things I need to not die, basically. So there's carbon, more carbon, ferrite dust. Okay, that's a big load of ferrite dust, probably. Hopefully, it's going to be useful. Carbon. I think for the first 10 or 15 minutes, I'm just going to hang out by this cave to make sure I have enough resources not to be wandering off and dying 10 minutes in, right? What happens in permadeath mode on this game, if you die, there's no going back to a save. As a matter of fact, your save is deleted. So it's funny. I follow a couple of other YouTubers that play this game on a fairly regular basis, and I was watching one of the streams last week. One guy was playing at Permadeath mode, and he kept on dying. Poor guy. Yeah, he died like 3 or 4 times in the first like half hour. And he was saying the exact same thing. You know, it's like when you're streaming, you know, you kind of feel obligated to yap off, and your thoughts kind of wander away from what you're actually doing in the game, and you can certainly get a lot of carbon. Yeah, so you can get distracted quite easily, especially if you got your, you know, one eye on the chat, which is I guess basically I'm trying to do here, trying to keep one eye on the chat. When I look at the chat, of course, I'm not looking at the game, and my radiation is almost down to nothing. So I'm going to recharge it using an ion battery. Did I get an achievement for that? Getting the sound of an achievement in the game here. Starship signal detected. Oh, okay. Where's my starship? Let's see. Oh, there it is! Over there, look at that. Signal source. That's my starship over there. And what direction is that? That's kind of... Oh, I don't have my compass up yet. I guess I need to get my analysis visor on. That would help probably. I really need to scan as much of this carbon as I can. That's what's going to allow me to... Really having trouble with this gamepad. It's like the sticks are very touchy. It doesn't take much to move the stick, to move your perspective. All right, now how am I doing here? 93 carbon. Okay, I still need that, eh? I'm gonna take 50 of that to make a carbon nanotube, and then finish building this analysis visor, which should then allow me to scan. Awesome. So the little red dots basically identify animals that you can scan on the planet. The animals, scanning animals will give you money. Scanning animals, plants, and minerals will give you money. Generally speaking, the animals will give you more, which is all good. Keep scanning this stuff because absolutely it's indispensable. Oh, charge is gone again. Good thing I'm mining some carbon anyway. All these little plants give off a little tiny bit of carbon when you mine them. Pretty much everything you mine will give you something. Everything that's mineable, that is. You see when I hover over something, there's a description that comes up. When I scan that particular item, in this case, it's a mineral. It will basically further expand the information you have about that particular item. Did I scan those around? Okay. Is that my cave right here? No, that's just a hole in the ground. Oh no, where's my cave? There it is. Okay. Yeah. So when you scan elements of the game, here's another one I think. Yep. So that looks like an underground animal. When you scan elements of the game, it gives you money. which is useful later for buying various things. In my case, I'm thinking about using it for buying a ship eventually, but just basically just scanning stuff is probably not going to be enough to allow me to buy a ship. So stabilizing. Okay, good. So that's what happens when you go into a cave or into some kind of building. You're out of the elements basically, so you can do whatever you need to do without having to recharge your life support or your hazard protection constantly. The thing is, though, is that I'm going to need to move along shortly. Gold. Yeah, why not? Gold is, I think it might be more expensive than cobalt. So I'm going to mine it. And if I can make it to a vendor at some sort of building, I'm going to sell it. Along with most of this cobalt. I know cobalt is somewhat valuable. It's one of the better things, I believe, to acquire in the early game scenario. Scott says he watched through the Crafty Mart videos, my Minecraft videos I did last year. Yeah, it was just kind of a playthrough, and I was kind of those were actually not live streamed. They were recorded, and then I voiced over most of them, if not all of them. It was really a chore to kind of to live record your voice as you're playing, and it's the same basic scenario. I mean, when you're actually playing the game, it can be quite challenging to be talking at the same time, and especially if you're looking at chat and somebody's talking about COVID or something, and basically you're trying to keep your sanity, your in-game sanity, and trying to also entertain your audience. Very, very difficult, I must say. I have to hand it to those people who do this for a living. I guess for the most part, the really good ones have been doing this for a while, so that would probably help to explain their proficiency in playing and talking at the same time. So basically, I need to go somewhere where I can find more plants. Now, this stuff here can also help recharge my tool, I think, as long as it's not... Okay, it is condensed carbon, and I can mine it. I don't need the advanced mining beam. So the only place early game I can acquire the advanced mining beam for the more advanced materials. Oh no! Now here's danger. Some of the animals can be hostile as well, and that's just bad news. Where did he go? See this little red paw here? Hostile creature. Oh no! I have to try to mine him, and he's gone. Okay, good. I wonder if all of those particular creatures are hostile. I certainly hope not, because that's just going to make this first 10 or 15 minutes really, really hard. Whoop. Fell into that hole. Alright, so I need to find all these I can find. I think I might start moving on, actually. There's I don't see anything I can use to recharge my life support around here, sadly. So this cave is great for keeping me out of the elements initially, but I still need to find resources that I can use. We didn't have any oxygen, do we? I don't think so. Now, there's hazardous plants on planets as well, and if you mine those, they will usually give you oxygen. Sadly, you kind of almost run into them before you realize that you've got hazardous plants. Can I do a scan? Scanner recharge. Wow. Didn't realize I had already used it. Oh, okay, here we go. Dihydrogen crystals. So this will help me make gel packs to recharge my life support. Gonna mine a lot of it though, that's the worst thing. 30, that's not enough, I don't think. I need 40. Okay, there's a scan. Man, I keep getting into these planets where the resources are so few and far in between. It's like, holy moly. So I need to get up here and get at this oxygen. Where is it? There it is. Alright, so suit power cells depleted. I need to do at least a little bit of damage control here. Where's the rest of it? There's so much junk. Can't even see where the rest of it is. Darn. Oh, this is not good. Alright, so my ship is northwest, so I'm going to go southeast. I see a lot of these ships flying around. Usually that's an indication that there's a building around here somewhere. Yeah, when they're flying around like that, I have to guess that there's a trade post, which is one of the types of buildings on planets. And trade posts, well, for one thing, you can get out of the elements in a trade post. Secondly, these ships will land there. And if I have enough funds, I can probably attempt to buy one of those. Ferrite dust, I need that. I need that for okay, I just noticed something on my scanner. Yeah, unknown building. Haha. That's the trading post over here. That's an unmistakable sign that there's a trading post around, as that the ships are flying around like this. And it looks like it's very close to my crashed ship and very close to there it is. Look at that. And it's very close to the cave. Oh man, I got nothing to fix that, do I? Do I? Nothing. Oh no. So, is there any, oh good. Whew. Now, funny thing is that quite often the game will somehow provide when you're really desperate for something, but you got to know how to find it. In this case, I use my my scanner to identify that oxygen. It's another thing about permadeath. your life support and your hazard protection like drop like a stone very quickly until there's a ship landing up there. So there's a number of different kinds of buildings on planets. This is a trading post. Normally these have like 7 platforms, and they usually have some kind of containers that you can loot along the way. Stabilizing. Good. Okay, good. So my ship is over there. Your starship, distance 380. So it's just on the other side of that hill there. So if I look at this particular ship that's landed on the pad here, it's class shuttle. Oh, gone. Look at that. They only land for like 30 seconds or so. So if I'm going to do any looking around, shopping, then I need to be quick about it. Now these large ships, the haulers, they're normally more expensive. The least expensive ones are the explorers. There's 5 basic, five basic kinds of ships. 3 of them are kind of associated with the 3 different kinds of life forms you'll find in this universe. These guys are called Korvax. They're robotic. I don't know if you'd call them life forms, but regardless, they are robotic. And look at that one, 47 million. A-class hauler, 39 inventory slots, 6 technology slots. I'm not going to be able to afford that anytime soon, first. And secondly, sour grapes, I don't know. I don't like those anyway. So a couple of fighters just landed. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, so those are heavy fighters in the sense that they have a lot of slots, a lot of inventory slots. 21.5 million. And that one didn't last very long. Oh, here's an explorer. That one's got a big bulb on the side, so it's probably got a lot of slots too, eh? 23. That's for a C class. That's expensive. 2.8. Most of the explorers, like C class explorers, are under $1 million, and that's my best option in terms of affordability early game. C class, that one has a moderate number of slots. 1.3. I won't be able to afford that one anytime soon. So the total number of slots that you can get in a starship is 48, depending on your starship. This one looks like it can hold 25 or so. I'm not sure if it'll expand any further than that. Usually this outside box will be bigger if it can actually go larger. So 48 is the largest I've seen, I think, in terms of general slots, inventory slots, and I believe it's 21 or 24 technology slots. You might be wondering what you use all those slots for. Well, in terms of your multi-tool, you use technology that allows you to augment basically the usefulness of your multi-tool. There's a ship similar to the one I was given, C-class 17, 935. Mine isn't even that good, and another hauler, expensive. So how much money do I have? So in your first panel here, up on the top left, you have how much money you have. The nanites is another form of, I guess you can call it currency you use to buy technology, and quicksilver is another more kind of later than now anyway. It's not very early game currency. But this is a galactic trade terminal, and in here I can buy stuff if I can afford it. Sometimes they have stuff you need, sometimes they don't. Just wondering if I can buy up all this instead of going around looking for it. 4,000. That's half my money. Here, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to sell the stuff I said I was going to sell. I'm going to sell half of this stuff because you can actually eat that stuff. Don't need that. Clear up that inventory. And this, I'm going to keep some of it so I can make some more ion batteries. Let's see. I'm going to keep enough for 4 ion batteries and hope that I can run into a cave at some point. And I'm going to sell that. And now I have almost 100,000. Okay, good. So now, I'm going to, just a minute now. Oh, they're selling ion batteries and life support gel. So that's a strategy early game too, is just to come to one of these places, if you can find one, and just buy these things up. So let's start with that. Start with that. That's not taking very much out of my inventory, out of my stash, my cash. So maybe I'll buy more of that. Batteries, support gel. Silver, I should sell that too. Now if I acquire enough of this stuff to make more than one stack, I should probably put it over here. Now that's what's left of my cobalt. So what I'm going to do is talk to these guys. Yeah. Because you can interact with the NPCs and basically as you can see from the chat, you can't understand a word they're saying, so I guess one of the game elements is to learn the 3 languages, and one way to do that is to talk to the NPCs. There are other ways to do it. There are knowledge stones scattered on all the planets that that allow you to learn a word as well. And you only learn one word at a time, unfortunately. So it can take you a while to learn enough to understand what they're saying. Did this guy give me anything? He gave me a mining beam. A mining beam module. So that is useful. So this is the kind of technology that you need to augment your equipment. Now, these things come in 3 classes, very much like your multi-tool, your starships. They come in class C, B, A, and the highest class is S. There's also an X class, which is like a contraband. Some people swear by those. I don't usually bother because by and large they're crap. You can get the odd one that's really good, even better than the S class, but again, that's a game of percentages. So I'm going to actually install that, and this thing is going to it's going to increase the efficiency of my mining beam, which is useful, right? Instead of recharging my tool every 2 minutes, I get to do it probably every 2 minutes and 10 seconds now. Anyway, I'm going to talk to all these guys quickly, except for this guy. So here's another element of the game. At some point you get to establish a base and hire a bunch of people to run various things in your base, and this guy is the scientist. So I got to remember the guy in white called Entity Key is the scientist, and I don't want to talk to him again on this platform because I know that he's just looking to be hired, and I don't even have a base yet. So that's again later early game kind of procedures, whatever. So, anyway. Trade symbol. So Korvax, they are proficient in technology. So if I could learn a technology symbol or a Korvax symbol, that would be great. And in this particular case, I don't have either one as an option. I'm just going to go for a mystery symbol, which basically is like a conjunction or some crap like that. Now, when you've actually talked to somebody, it'll say visited underneath their name. So you'll know that you've actually spoken with this person. So here it is, Korvax symbol, mystery symbol. Let's go with the Korvax symbol. So I learned the word for Korvax. Okay, so if any of these speak to me and actually say the word Korvax, that word will appear in their chat. Oh, he's visited. Okay, my apologies, sir. Okay, space trucker. Space trucking. There was a Deep Purple song back in the 70s about that. Okay, that's way too expensive, and I really don't have any money now anyway. I gotta find a cave to mine some more cobalt. See, 850, that's getting much more affordable. And these explorers are normally a lot cheaper too. Let's see. B class. Okay, the B class is slightly more expensive. There we have a B class shuttle. So the 4 types of ships. The explorers are associated with the Korvax. The haulers, that one up there that just left, is a Gek type of ship. Now, well, I guess I should first say what types of life forms are. As you can see, the first one is the Korvax, the first one we'll encounter. The 2 other ones are Gek, which is a small, looks like a frog almost. It walks on 2 legs. There's a lot of lore in this game that maybe I'll attempt to explain at some point. There might be a cave up there. And basically, when you enter the game, all the major wars are done with, and you're just kind of basically negotiating your way around, firstly a planet and then a star system with 2 or more planets, and then finally the galaxy. There's actually a number of galaxies in the game. I'm going to try this and hope I don't die, because if I die the game's over and I have to start over. So let's... Okay, whoa, I did that right. So I just jumped off the platform there. If I had done that without using my jetpack, there's a pretty good chance I would have been game over. But okay, I'm glad to announce that I'm still around. Yay! Okay, wow, look at that. Nothing in this cave. A stone. Oh, wait now. Fortunately, I'm out of the elements. In a cave or in most buildings, you'll be out of the elements. Okay, so I'm going to mine that. Oh, there's some carbon. See, after I scanned that, the secondary element was identified. It's very useful. Now, when you see a secondary element, I'll just hover over this guy. You see carbon is a secondary element. There's probably not a lot of it. Probably 5 or 6 or something. It'll show up in the top right there. Yeah, 8. Okay, 8. So that's not really a lot. But, you know what? It's better than a kick in the pants. Oh, need to be charged. Speaking of carbon, now I picked up some condensed carbon earlier, didn't I? I didn't pick up enough, did I? No. Okay. Well, I'll just have to go with that for now. So your suit... Oh. Now, see, that stone looks so much like previous stones, doesn't it? But it's different. That's the thing. You need to keep your scanner open. Well, not keep it open, but you need to scan occasionally to see what you've identified. See, it gives you a little bit of money, right? another one. Looks like the others, but it's not. Just curious, Scott, are you playing? Are you working, or what are you doing this morning? Are you playing along on your own playthrough here, or? There's another one. This one looks like it has crystals sticking off, so it will obviously be different. But it does not have a secondary element. This is not a very big cave, and there's not a lot of stuff in it, so I'm probably going to strip it bare. Oh wait, it is big. Look at that. Goes way on in there. Well, that changes everything. I've been on this for almost an hour. Wow, hard to believe. There's one thing about gaming. Time absolutely flies. So Scott, you didn't have any trouble getting on my stream? Okay, I'm going to proceed up that way as soon as I've copper. Awesome. So you saw that rock basically sticking down from the bottom of the cave. It has a secondary element, which means that they all, pretty much, probably all do. Copper is an extremely valuable element. It can be refined to make other elements, and usually, unless you find it in this form, you have to use a terrain manipulator to mine it out of the ground, which basically is an add-on to this particular item, the multi-tool. But that's a later early game thing, and I won't be getting that for a while yet. So I have to make do with what I can find, and in this case, the copper. I can get some copper out of some of these. I have to find one that I can actually mine. So things like this that are identified, you can actually mine. You saw that I hovered over some of the other ones there, and nothing showed up in terms of identification. So those you can't mine. Now I gotta be careful, because I don't know that I have 5 carbon. That's not a lot. Is there any more? Of course, power cell, which means life support gel, right? There we go. Okay, so what's this stuff? Can't even scan that. A large vase-looking thing. Oh! So this is the cave Hazardous Flora. Now apparently I can just go over and pick those up. I'd rather just stand back and mine them. They'll either give you sodium or oxygen. And of course, which can both be used to recharge parts of your exosuit system. Now, let me just take a look here. So there's the copper I picked up. Put that down there. No oxygen. That's not good news. Well, not good news. I don't really need oxygen out of that life support gel though. And I know I can buy right outside the door there. The door. Like the cave has a door, right? And this one is just cobalt. A lot of these kinds of things have secondary minerals which are, shall I say, far less useful. So they just kind of take up room in your inventory. Okay, so no point in mining those because they're not identified. I wonder how many stacks of cobalt I can come up with. So your general inventory in your exosuit, the slots hold 250 of these, 250 items of the various types. Oh, looks like I had my mining beam on too long. You see the bar up in the top right. As you use your mining beam, the white bar goes across to the left. Further it goes, it starts to change color. It starts to go orange and then red. And then when it gets to the end, it just shuts off. That's basically your mining beam overheating. There's a trick to using that more efficiently. If you notice it getting up too high, you just kind of tap it and let it drop down a little bit. See, when I let go, it drops back down. So the idea is to, if you see it getting up too high, just kind of tap it and allow it to drop before it goes back down to zero. Advanced mining laser required, so I don't have that. So yeah. So the advanced mining laser I can get from a vendor. Now, the Galactic Terminal in the trade post here is not considered a vendor. He's not actually an NPC. It's just an interactive artifact in the game. So basically, you can buy stuff there, but you can't buy technology there. And the advanced mining laser is a technology element that you add to your multi-tool to allow you to scan or mine, I should say, higher density elements. Whatever. Point is that if I see an element that has advanced mining laser required, well, and I don't have that unit, forget it. Just have to forego and wait till I get the. See, I let the mining laser overheat again. I have to forego that particular element. And wait till I get the advanced mining laser from a vendor. Oh, now it just turned red. I'm trying to demonstrate the. See, it's getting red. So you just let it go, tap it, tap it. Kind of deal you get and the higher it goes in terms of temperature, the more efficient the beam gets. In other words, the quicker you mine. So it's good to let it go up into the red, but if you let it go up too high, it'll just reset. Anyway, sorry, this is really boring, probably for most of you, or for anybody who's watching. I'm just sitting here mining cobalt. I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to buy one of those ships. Can't scan that. Can't scan that. There's two types of plants in here. These are cave marrow. I think normally there's another kind. It's not always, but normally. So anyway, yeah, boring. Oh, it's depleted. Okay, looks like I'm out. I've only got 5 carbon, so I'll have to go and harvest more of that material. My goodness, huh? Broke it down again. Might have to sell the tritium. Tritium is useful in your starship as fuel. 5 carbon, that's not going to do much, is it? Oof. Okay, I need to go and get more. Yeah, tritium is good for fuel in your starship. It may be useful for crafting a few other things, but aside from that, it has a very limited use. What I know it most for is starship fuel. Of course, if you've crafted other starship fuel in other forms, then you probably don't need that. Okay, my ship is over there, so I said I was going this way, right? Now, just standing under the platform here is not going to keep me out of the radiation. So I'm actually going to go up and sell the cobalt that I just mined. Probably buy some more ion batteries and gel packs. Dihydrogen gel packs for life support. Get your life support here. Oh, where's the ladder? There he is. Okay. Stop moving the ladder, boys. Yeah. Alright, so what do we got here? We got a C. Oh, now see, that is probably the cheapest ship in the game. C15, 15 slots, 3 technology slots, 444,000 units. When I sell my my cobalt here, I might be able to afford that. Unfortunately, he's likely going to be gone by the time I do that. Let's just have a look. Ionized cobalt. Yeah, let's get rid of that. What else? Cobalt. I said I wanted to keep some of that, right? Oh. Okay, we'll keep 50 of it. And that will give me... not enough! Darn. I don't know if there's one cheap enough that I can buy. 335. You know what? I would rather buy more of these and scoot along. At least I know where to find a trade post. It's right next to my starship, and that's not going anywhere, so let's see. Let's buy that. And now the hazard protection system always drops off much quicker than the life support, so I'm going to buy more of that. What have I got? 36 ion batteries, 19 gel support. Okay, so that should be enough to keep me going for a little bit. There's another Explorer. What do we got here? Ooh, that's a nice one. 19 plus 5, 1.5 million. There's a big fighter. 12 million. I think that's a smaller fighter. Yeah, C-22. Oh, still 2 million, almost 3 million. And almost 3 million for that B-class shuttle. Okay, so three types of life forms. I'm going to try this again. Pray for me, pray for me. Okay, did it. So 3 types of life forms. We've encountered the Korvax, learned a few words. The other 2 are Gek, I mentioned before. They are little, almost frog-like creatures, but they walk on 2 legs. And the third is, I believe it's pronounced Viking, but I'm not 100% sure. Just wait for stamina to recharge. See the message in the bottom right? What a rot job. I got 0 stamina. I shouldn't say 0 stamina, because there is a little bit. Gotta keep looking for these plants though. Recharge my multi-tool, because that depletes. There are upgrades you can get for your multi-tool that will reduce or increase the efficiency. Oh, gone again. Well, of course, I only used 5 carbon the last time, so it's no surprise to me that it's gone already. Oh. Let's see. I get a little button on my gamepad that changes the configuration of the rest of the buttons, and I accidentally press it every now and then I wonder why is it not working? Dang. Okay, so there's more of these plants here. I'm going to grab as much of this as I can. Now eventually I'll be looking for more of, where'd it go? Did I see a large crystal? Okay, so that's dihydrogen. Now sadly I can't mine this because advanced mining laser required. Okay. Yeah, so there's 3 types of crystals. There's the dihydrogen, which is this stuff. Yay. I'm going to try not to keep much more than a stack of this until I get more room in my inventory. Unfortunately, each one of these doesn't give you a whole lot, so I got to try and mine as much as I can while looking out for other things that I need to acquire. Carbon, I have it. Thank you for your sacrifice, sir. Some people complain about the exosuit constantly talking to you. Radiation protection falling. Radiation protection stabilized. Blah, blah, blah. It's gone again. Wow. Good thing I'm mining this stuff as I go. I haven't even mined enough to recharge it completely. So I'm looking for condensed carbon crystals. I'm pretty sure I can mine the smaller crystals similar to the dihydrogen. If I don't recharge my mining beam, I'm going to end up having to use melee to acquire stuff, and that's just a nuisance. All right, let's continue on with our journey here. Kind of southeast, I said, right? My ship is. Oh, my ship is northeast from here, so I'm going to go southwest. So, like I mentioned earlier, my hazard protection erodes quicker than my life support. That's why I bought more iron. It's not iron, it's ion batteries. I bought more iron batteries than dihydrogen gel packs. I still have to continue mining this carbon to keep recharging my multi-tool. My mining device. Radiation protection almost gone again. Wow. That's cruel. But I guess that's the nature of radiation damage detected. I must have nipped it in the bud, did I? Almost. I would say, well, you don't have to keep telling me. But I guess if it didn't, guess what? Probably die. So these smaller hydrogen crystals you can mine. The big one we saw a few minutes ago, the advanced mining tools, so can't touch those just yet. Can I scan these animals? There's something here I haven't scanned. This little guy here looks like a cat almost with horns. And he does not appear to be hostile. So when you scan an item like an animal, it gives you additional information, such as what the animal eats and its temperament. Which basically lets you know whether or not you need to, oh no, that's not what I want to do. I want to scan that. Because basically, that gives me additional jetpack. That gives me an additional jetpack boost. But I'm not very proficient with my jetpack, so not going to really use those blue plants. So as I was saying earlier, getting on with the kinds of life forms. You have the Korvax, the Gek, and I think it's called Viking. The Viking are, I believe they're reptilian, but I'm not exactly sure. Maybe somebody can correct me in chat there if they know different. The idea behind the lore is that these life forms were at war with each other pre-game, I guess, if you want, historically speaking, and now I guess peace reigns throughout the universe. So you don't have to worry about running into a battle as such. Whoops, that's not what I want to do. There are battles, and at some point, maybe in one of my later streams, I will kind of demonstrate my lack of proficiency in that arena. So the three types of life forms are at war. I'm pretty sure there's mostly peace in the universe now. So again, you don't have to worry much about battles. I think the only battles that occur in the game are with pirates. So pirates attacking fleets. No plants there, good. Yeah, so pirates attacking fleets of freighters. Basically, when you get your starship, you continue on with the gameplay. Basically, I guess your set of tasks that you need to accomplish, and one of those is ends up being a freighter battle. After which you are, if you win, of course, you are offered a freighter to use for free. And like most other elements, usable elements in the game, they come in the four classes, the C, B, A, and S. And I guess gamers have shown me various tricks to acquiring the best freighter possible. It can be rather time consuming, but if you really want the best or a decent freighter, then I guess you have to suck it up and go through the motions. I tend not to be extremely picky about that stuff, so I will kind of settle, depending on how long it takes to. All right, I'll explain that when we get to it. I guess there's no point in going through that now. That's more mid-game kind of elements, if you will. Okay, so let's see. Gathering up all the carbon I can. I got some condensed carbon from those crystals earlier. That's useful for recharging my tool here. And a couple more. How much do I have? Okay, stack of 250. And that's it, eh? It takes, I think, 100 to completely recharge the multi-tool. Well, those plants don't give me much. Now, it takes a lot less condensed carbon, but that's a lot harder to find. So I'll have to keep in mind that I need to keep an eye out for that stuff. Now here is a game element that can be useful. Damage machinery. Press and hold X to see what's inside. What I do is I discard these items because it's kind of a pain to basically use them. And they give you a secondary item. In this case it was nanites. Useful, but they don't give you much. Now here's something, a bit of a surprise. These technology modules are normally buried, and you can't get at them because you don't have the terrain manipulator. This one is sticking out of the ground, so I'm going to grab what's in it, which is salvage data. Unfortunately, let's see. Oh, it's 2. Okay, is there more? 2. Okay, so salvage data is ka-ching. Probably the best way to get currency early game if you can find those. Like I said, most of them are buried underground, so you can't get at them. Let me see if I can find some here. So I've got my scanner open here with my left trigger button. There's one, buried technology module. It's quite likely that that one's buried as well. It's 358 U away, which is about 3. Wow. Leave me alone. I wish you could do this automatically, but I guess that would be... that would mean that you wouldn't have to be constantly looking at your 2 bars on the bottom left of the screen there. So like I said, I know where that trading post is. It's behind me. I have 328 units of cash there, plus another 100 here is 4. That's not really enough to buy a half-decent ship. I'm just hoping I'm going to run into another one of those. Now, some gamers say that these types of outfits are basically laid down in ley lines, which is like north-south or whatever. On the map. So theoretically, if I continue going south from where this trading post was, there's a pretty decent chance I'm going to encounter not necessarily another trading post, but another building anyway. So I'm just actually going to head south. there's another advantage into heading south. Is that, as you see on the top of my screen there, south, that cardinal point is on my compass, so makes it a lot harder to go around in circles kind of thing, and waste time doing that. I just want to head in one direction. So here's the other type of crystal. You had the blue dihydrogen, the red carbon, condensed carbon, and this sodium. Now, I can't mine any of this stuff. It all requires the advanced mining beam. So I'm just going to keep going. Now, what is that? Cheerful, and it eats. Maybe that's why it attacked me, because I was mining its dihydrogen crystals. I don't know. Regardless, it says it's friendly, so we'll go with that. Wow. Light support power low. Is this another cave, I wonder? Looks like another depression in the ground, but it could be just a hole. And it's just kind of a hole. There's another one over there. Let's go over there. I don't want to have to cross paths with that thing again. I wonder what this is. Okay, so the primary element is pure ferrite. Requires advanced laser beam, mining beam, whatever. So I don't have that. Just going to keep right on going. I think the secondary one was uranium, wasn't it? The secondary item was, whoops, still getting used to my gamepad. Press the fire button instead of the speed up button. Right, let's get some more of this stuff. The professional, shall I say, YouTube gamers that I watch, they normally play in third person. I guess they have some kind of thing about, their audience being able to see the character that they're playing and so on. I just find it so much easier to play in first person for the actual player interaction. When I get into the starship, there's times when first person is useful. I find, especially in combat. Otherwise, I'm in third person in the starship. The basic premise for that is that the field of view is much larger in third person. Basically, what happens is, if you're in first person in the starship, you're looking out through the cockpit, which takes up, a little bit of the screen. More of the screen in some ships than others, but regardless, it does take up some of the screen. It gives you additional information, but it takes up some of the screen, which basically, depending on what you're actually doing at the time, you need as much. You need to be able to see what's around you as much as possible. So, like for example, if you're flying low over a planet, like these guys, looking for minerals or whatever, certain buildings, third person is very useful because it allows you to have a much wider field of view. It's probably the same thing in the character kind of mode here that I'm in now. But you know what? If I want to see, I keep getting stuck on these things. If I want to see what's around me, I can just stop, pull out my scanner, and try to identify various things that are coming up or close to me. So, for example, if there's a building near me, the scanner will likely identify it. Not sure if that's 100%. Obviously it has to be close to you. But that's one way to find out what's near you, is to stop and scan around. There goes my stamina again. Stamina guy. I think I should have called this character Stamina Guy. Yeah, not Stamina-less guy. Or no Stamina Guy. No for short. Oh my goodness, radiation protection falling. Yeah, I know. When I get up on this hill here, I'll do another scan. These things are scary. They look like giant crabs. This one looks like a praying mantis with like 8 legs. Oh, it's 6. Okay, sorry. Regardless. Scary looking things. If they were tiny, it probably wouldn't be so scary. I guess it would probably be much scarier if they were hostile, like that last one we saw. Come on. Gotta recharge this thing every 30 seconds. Well, may as well recharge this one too. It's gonna be gone shortly. So, I guess this is what I've been doing. This is my pandemic activity. So for those who don't know, I retired a couple of years ago and was hoping to enjoy my retirement, certainly more than just computer gaming. I guess it is what it is. I should be thankful that I didn't lose my job, or didn't go stir crazy or anything like that. I mean, the stories are out there about the damage that people have suffered in their personal lives. And it's just you know what, this kind of takes me away from all that in a sense, and helps me to escape reality. So I was talking earlier about the cobalt in the cave, or the copper. This is a typical kind of deposit you'll get. This one is uranium, but you also get deposits of, well, let's see. Now on this planet you will get deposits of sodium, uranium, and copper. And, okay, so here's something. Sentinels frequent over in the left column here. That means to me that there's quite a high likelihood that I will be running into sentinels very soon. Now I'm in paused mode here, so nothing is happening to me in the game in terms of life support and hazard protection. This panel also shows me the various you look at Earth with its billions of types of plants and animals, and this planet has 6 types of animals. Now you get money for scanning them, and when you've scanned them all, you get a number of nanites, which allows you then to buy technology. So I've scanned 5 out of the 6 animals. The last one is a flying animal that flies during the day. So I guess I should probably look up whenever it turns daylight and see if I can find that animal. So it'll be a bird, obviously. Some kind of bird or bat or something like that. Or giant flying roach. Yeah, giant flying roach. I did say that. Not sure if they are at... Oh, and there's a sentinel. Speak of the devil. That little sound. Where'd he go? There he is. That's a sentinel. And now Usually they're nasty. They're bad news. In the description, what did it say in the description? Frequent. So, I'm not exactly sure if that means that they're nasty or not. I would tend to think yes. If the sentinels are frequent, that means that I need to be careful not to arouse them. Because if you arouse the sentinels, they will eventually come after you, and they're never alone, and they come in waves. So if you arouse a sentinel, there's a good chance that you're gonna arouse like 3 or 4 at a time. Oh, there we go, sentinel investigating, and it starts. So I just got to run away. When a sentinel investigates, that means that it's just looking to see what's going on. So when I scan stuff, that normally happens when you scan stuff. Not when you scan stuff, when you mine stuff. Scanning stuff doesn't normally attract their attention. So what I've learned from watching some of the other gamers is that you'll notice that I didn't mine all of the crystals there, and that's what you do. You mine a few and scoot along to the next batch, like right here. Mine a few more, scoot along, that kind of deal, right? I mean, that's basically the only way. Actually, it's not. There's 2 ways to avoid. There he goes. There's another one. There's 2 ways to avoid the attention of sentinels. He's right next to me. He knows it was me. Like, 2 ways to avoid the attention of sentinels. One is to make it quick. Discard that. What is it going to give me? Upgrade? Launch fuel. I may as well throw that out because, well, I don't have a ship. Okay, so this cave, the walls are fairly steep. I'm just not going to go in there. Whoops, didn't actually harvest that. I'm not good. Okay, so those diamonds with the 3 stars are indicating something to me, and they're showing me, oh, what's this? Curious deposit. Oh, problem is though, this turd right here, the second I start trying to mine that, oh, I need the advanced mining laser anyway. Okay, never mind. So if I were to try to mine that, I would likely attract his attention, his ire, arouse his ire, and that would just be bad news for me. So they make short work of you. They fire some lasers or something at you once they've identified that you're the culprit that's basically doing something that they don't exactly appreciate. Oh, big rocks here. Yeah, I got it. So let's fix that. 27 batteries. And 26 and 15. So I still got quite a bit there. But if that drops down too far, I'm going to have to stop and manufacture or craft additional life support gel and ion batteries. Anyway, like I was saying, those sentinels are just bad news. Try to stay away from them as much as I can. It's basically the mining activity that attracts their attention. Like I was talking about the plants earlier. There's the yellow sodium plant that you can harvest for sodium. There's the red oxygen plants. I think there might be a few here. Yeah, okay. You can harvest oxygen from these. And there's the blue deuterium plants that are good for exosuit jetpack boost. So again, this stuff I'm going to discard just to find out what else is in there. Condensed carbon. All right, we'll take that. Not extremely useful, but hey, again, better than a kick in the pants. Alright, so I've been playing this for an hour and a half. I will keep the stream going until I can find a save point. So basically, I'm looking for some kind of building or game artifact that has some kind of save point in it. Because that will allow me to basically stop the game without and be able to start up again from that point on. But I have to find a building or something with a save point in it. So let's have a look. Do I see anything? Knowledge stones, no save points with that. Grobbery, it's basically plants. There's one. Holographic comms tower. Okay, so that's not the best case scenario, but it is a game artifact, a building basically with a save point. So I saw also, what did I see over here? Damaged machinery. That's it right there on the hill. I'm going to make a beeline for the damaged machinery, and then I'm going to go to the holographic tower. Wow. I'm going to go to the holographic tower and basically save this game and end the stream, and at which point I question the decision to not having stayed long enough in that other location, that trading post. There's another technology module out of the ground. That'll usually happen around hills like this, on the side of a hill, which is absolutely awesome. So now I have probably enough cash to buy a ship, although I hesitate to do that. It's really highly unlikely that I will find a crashed ship. Where did that go? Where did that thing go? Is that it right there? No, that's the one. Yeah, it is. Wow. Is it? I walk right past it. Yeah. So it's doubtful. I shouldn't say it's doubtful, because it is possible. It is possible to find a crashed ship, but they're not all that common. And discard that. Did I discard it? No. Gotta go all the way, Mart. Let's go. Come on, get with the program. And this guy gives me more earrings. Okay. I'm going to go to this holographic comms tower. And terminate this stream. Alright. So, anyway. Yeah. Like I said, I may have to purchase a ship at some point, because, as I was saying, it's not easy to find a crashed ship, and I'm not even sure that they're identified on my scanner. So, you know what? So I'm inside a building, and as you heard, radiation protection stabilizing. Yeah, inside of a building, you're not affected by the elements on the planet, whether it be heat, cold, radiation, or toxicity. A lot of these types of buildings will have these two, I guess they're called, oh, I need to interact with this. Learn word. Alrighty. Traveler, Korak's word for traveler. Yay. Okay, so basically there's several kinds of buildings that will have these shelter buildings. They're like two trailers, basically. You can get in and get out of the elements, and they will, I think, always have a terminal like I saw in the other one that will give you nanites, and they may also have another 1, 2, or 3 terminals that'll give you a word or money or something else. And like I said, I'm going to call this stream Gonna go over here and first of all, let's just do this. That's daylight. Okay. What was I saying about daylight earlier? Oh yeah, look for the birds. So, scanner open, look up to the sky, there they are, zoom in, and scan. How much money is that guy going to give me? 1,000. So I think that's slightly more than the default. It may not be. I don't think in my, yeah, I don't have any scanning augmentations on my multi-tool. So I'm not going to get additional funds for that. All right, that's it for today. I've scanned that, saved the game, and we'll call it here. And thanks for watching. For those who did watch, appreciate it. And let me know in the comments if you like what you saw. I'm probably going to do this again next Saturday. What I'm hoping to do is replace my the Saturday morning cartoons that I was reminiscing about the other day with a session like this, hopefully every Saturday. I may stream at other times, but I'm hoping to do it every Saturday morning. All right, cheers, and yeah, we'll see you next time.